So I set a goal for myself after passing my CP that I wanted to try and complete a 100k flight in paragliding within a year of passing my CP. So I always had that in mind, but then recently I kind of thought, is that really possible? Probably not. But watch this video and turns out it is. So I'm 10 months after passing my CP, and I managed to do it. So I took off from Bradwell, which is in the Peak District, and I declared my goal to be in Bridlington on the east coast. It was pretty heaving at Bradwell, like so many pilots everywhere. Lots of others also wanted to head to Bridlington, so it was quite good. So I ended up flying with a few others for the first 50k or so, and then ended up being on my own for the rest. At first I was just sort of scratching around a little bit, not making too much progress. I was a little bit nervous because I didn't really want to just launch early and then bottom out, and then also I didn't want to be just packed, surrounded by tons and tons of pilots. So after the first Gaggle launched and went away from the hill, I decided to launch pretty quickly before the second load of people came, and that seemed to work really well because I got ahead of the crowd on the whole, and after a while caught a fairly nice thermal away from the hill. It's really nice flying as part of a Gaggle, just because you're really working well together. You can see where the climbs are, where the sink is, and that's pretty hard, so early on in the day. Like you can see here, there's barely any clouds, so I'm really relying on that teamwork at this stage of the flight. There's definitely times where no one's really making a decision as such, so that's kind of hard because everyone's just sort of circling, but we might not even be going up, kind of waiting for somebody to just decide to go. And so every so often I would kind of just wait for somebody else to go, or sometimes I was like, screw it, and I just sort of left myself if I felt like I had enough height. But at the beginning I was definitely at the bottom of the Gaggle on the whole, and that was a bit worrying because there was a few pilots beneath me that fell out at the bottom of the thermal, and they didn't make it that very far, so I was really cautious of that because I was like, that's me next. But somehow I managed to hang on and stay with all these guys around me. Some of the Gaggle flying was pretty tight, but everyone was pretty well behaved, and we all worked together quite nicely. No one really got in each other's way or just chucked themselves in the middle, so it worked really well. And so at this point I was kind of getting up to about 6,000 feet-ish, and I knew that I had Class A airspace right above me at 6,500. Well, it was flight level 65, which is on this day was about 6,700 feet above sea level, and so I had only about 700 feet clear, so I kept pushing underneath the airspace, so I remained legal, and pushed over Sheffield, where the flight level then went up to flight level 85, which is on this day about 8,700 feet, so that gave me made me feel much more comfortable to push up to cloudbase, which was around 8,000 feet. So I set that glide, and then as you can see here, I sort of reached Sheffield. The edge of Sheffield was about 3,500 feet, and then caught some thermals up. I don't think I quite hit cloudbase around Sheffield, but I was still at a really healthy altitude of 5,500, 6,000 feet. One of my old school friends actually messaged me and said that they spotted some paragliders over Sheffield on that day, so they would have saw me. And it was just funny because when I was flying over, I was thinking, I wonder if anyone actually sees us right now because we're so high up. But they clearly did. So at this point this is where I started really getting some height, and I'm pushing 8,000 feet, which was sort of what I predicted the ceiling to be, sort of cloud base to be on that day, looking at all the different forecasts. And yeah, it's just awesome being that high. And yeah, flying over Sheffield, really cool experience. You can see just beneath me here, you can see Sheffield United's football stadium there on the right, and then kind of up towards the left, further left of the screen is Sheffield Wednesday. So there'll be quite a few football stadiums in this video, so if you want a tour of a few stadiums, just stay and watch. I really should have taken some glasses with me, I think, because I forgot and it was really bright at times. But yeah, here's flying over Sheffield, central Sheffield, which is really cool. So just after leaving Rotherham area, or just sort of coming out of the edge of Sheffield, just topped up with a bit of height, with this really nice purple wing above me. At this point, sort of everybody else had kind of dropped off, and it was pretty much just us two left. Yeah, here's Rotherham Stadium right there, and yeah, just topping up a bit more height over Rotherham before heading in direction Doncaster. Definitely started getting a little bit more quiet and lonely at this point. It was literally just like me, the guy on the purple wing, and I think there was one other sort of lagging behind a little bit. At one point I was sort of on the edge of the clouds, just sort of trying to stay not going up, not going down, just in sort of the edge of the lift, trying to wait for people to come join me, because obviously when you're flying in numbers it's so much more effective, because you can sort of watch each other, like who's going up, who's going down, helps find thermals a bit more effectively. But it was just taking too long, so eventually I decided just to go alone. So yeah, here I am sort of going on a bit of a glide, and yeah, it was pretty cold up at 8,000 feet, but yeah, here you can see it. There's 3 other pilots with me at this point, so this is still when I was with people, pulling some funny faces. But yeah, then after that I kind of go on glide to past Thorn on the way to Gaggle towards the Humber, flying through the clouds here, and just to the right there is Sheffield Doncaster Airport, and you can see the Vulcan sort of parked up on the side, which is like quite a famous thing that lots of paragliding pilots like to fly by and see. Yeah, you can see here I kind of turn to the left just because I see some clouds growing in that kind of direction, so yeah, head towards those because they're clearly working better. So when I get over the Humber, I'm saved by an absolute miracle of a climb that this thermal triggers just on the edge of the river, and yeah, you can see here.
Wow, so I nearly landed, but out of nowhere I found a thermal and I got in it from 2,000 feet up to 6.5, it's still going. Might make my 100k. So I'm absolutely buzzed. So here's Hull, the Humber. Been following the sides of the Humber for like, see up in back there, but it sort of swirls around. This climb's been a saviour. I don't think I would have made it without it.
Yeah, so this climb, like, look, I get down to about 2,500 feet. I see tons of pilots just dropping like flies beneath me. The climb was 0 to begin with. I wasn't going up or down, but I just thought I'd take it, get a bit of extra distance. Then it turned into 0.5, 1, 2 metre, 3 metre a second climbs. And yeah, before you know it, I'm back at nearly 8,000. I think I'd drop out of it at maybe 7,500 feet or so, which, yeah, then at that point I kind of realised, well, I've done it. I've definitely got enough to hit the 100k. Yeah, it was kind of crazy seeing the sea for the first time as well. I mean, the Humber's massive, but here at this point when, you know, I can see the sea, it was amazing. I was like, oh, I've made it. But you can see that there's not many clouds over to the right of that shot before. And so I think it was a bit of a mistake here. I kind of get a bit too close to the edge of the sea, and obviously the sea breeze has come in, and so that's meaning there's not many thermals, and so the ones I am catching are pushing me quite far out to sea, so I'm having to take them to get a bit of height because I'm getting too low. But at the same time I'm trying to cut back into the land to try to find the thermals and not get too low, because the sea breeze is coming in from the opposite direction, away from the sea. So yeah, this is one of like my last climbs here before my camera dies, but managed to scrape a little bit of extra height. And then it gets pretty hairy towards the end. I've really not got much height to get to Bridlington, and I debate just landing on the coast somewhere, but I keep pushing it, as you can see here. This is where the sea breeze kicked in. I'm really low in it, so it's really choppy, and I find just little bits just here just to keep me going up a little bit more, and I'm pushing, and I end up landing, yeah, just outside Bridlington, which was my goal. So yeah, really chuffed.